Hey guys, this is Chesney Hawks here. You are watching My Hammers 11 with the one and only Russ.
Hi everybody, Russ from My Hammers 11. Hope you are all safe and well. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified when I put new content on. As always, like to take on tuck it. Went for that really quickly because I'm glad that the guy we got on today is a busy man. He's been on like 3 things already today. Everyone wants a piece of CB. It's Charlie Boy. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I am here. We are in the building.
We are. It's in the place to be. It doesn't seem right about saying having a peachism or like Charlie B is in the place to be or something like that because it's just peach. Yeah. But anyway, how are we? Are you well, man? You've got a cup of tea. I've heard on the go.
Well, I got the cup of tea. I got the beautiful green tea and ready to go. That's why I messaged you. I ended the last show. I said, hold on, I got to sort my tea out and then I'm going to be right on. So
got to get your team game on. You have to get your tea game on before we go.
Proper things.
So how is everything in the Charlie Boy world? How are you, man? How's life treating you?
Life's treating me good. The world's kind of opening up back again. We got the gym going, which I'm always there. I got the youngins training.
Yeah.
We could go to restaurants and things now and, nice little stroll about. So, the season's coming up. So everything's looking good. How could you not be happy?
It's crazy, isn't it? It just seems to have come around so quickly again. It always does. It's like, we had with the Euros and then everything. And then it's just like next week. It's like, fuck, when did that happen?
Absolutely. Well, the Euros, I loved it. But, my dad was English. My mom's Italian. So I couldn't cheer for anybody. It just ruined it for me. It's terrible.
Yeah. You always win. It's like my dad's family. He's sort of my step family, so to speak. They're Italian, so they're always going to win, whatever happened. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the season now. I am. I wasn't in the mood. Last week I wasn't in the mood, but maybe because we got the Betway Cup on Saturday. I'm in the mood now. I'm in the mood for the season. I'm looking forward to seeing some fans, man. I'm looking forward to seeing some people rather than just.
And you're the man that makes them jump up and boogie. You play the tunes.
And I've just been boogieing to my own. I'll be boogieing to my own tunes. You know what I mean? It's like for the last 15 months. So it's nice to have some people actually listening to me rather than the journalists who are too busy typing on the pads, on the iMacs and stuff like that. So no, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm really looking forward to it.
That's got to be the coolest job in the world.
It's for a West Ham fan, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm very privileged to do it. And I've been doing this. I think this is my 21st season. I know I don't look old enough. I know.
Yeah, what are you, like 35 now?
It's the big 4-0 in next month, man. 40, man. 40 in September, man. Crazy.
That was close.
But moisturize. That's all it is. Just moisturize. That's the thing.
My key is olive oil. That's what I do.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Eat everything with olive oil. You look young.
Italian, being half Italian, you get that sort of, you've got that olive oil. You have it in your baby bottle instead of milk.
Absolutely.
Oh, I miss proper pizza as well, man. Talking to you like the other day, we did that thing on the live show. You got pizza out. Nothing beats a bit of Giuliana's.
Oh man! See, we would talk. That's what I said in your last video. I seen the tier, and I said Domino's, Papa John's, pizza. I said, oh man, wait a second, you guys need me over there. I could come over there right now, open up a proper pizzeria. I'd have no competition. It would be lovely. I just take over the whole pizza game.
Love it. Yeah. No, it'd be very good. Very good. I do my own. I do my own homemades here, but I haven't got the proper oven. You need the oven. You need the oven to get that proper temperature and get that.
Oh, you know what you got to do? You got to get a pizza stone, which, my nephew, they broke my pizza stone the other week. And you know what they did? They put tinfoil over it and they put pots and pans over it like I'm not going to know and put it back in the oven instead of telling me. Oh, so I go to make a pizza. I open the oven. Next thing you know, I see my pizza stone is cracked. They've got it wet. I don't know. They put it in there when it was, they did something wrong. Because it's a delicate thing, You can't. Yeah, and they just started. So I asked, who did it? Who did it? Of course, nobody did it. They don't know nothing. Absolutely, just not nice.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable. And but it's true. You've got to have you got to get that pizza. I was going to get one because you can get one for the barbecue as well, can't you? Which puts you on the barbecue and gets it really hot.
That's the key.
Yeah, but I mean, I've just looked when I saw you and I knew you coming on. I was like, I went through my because I used to go literally every year for about 5 years. I'd always be on the East Coast for like a week, or whatever. Last time I think I was there for almost a month. I was in New Jersey for a couple of weeks, and then it was my daughter's birthday, so she came over. We went to Manhattan for a week. Did all the touristy stuff, and then I said to my wife, I was like, right. We're going because I love Brooklyn. I was like, right, we're getting on the little ferry going across. I'm taking it to Juliana's. Got to go to Juliana's, and
yes, you could have went to Lenny's on 86th Street. Let's see, Lacali's over there on Henry Street. That's like in the posh neighborhood.
Yeah.
Then they got a place called Not Ray's because there was a place called Ray's, and then they had a beef about the name. So if you look it up, there's a place called Not Ray's. It's on Fulton Street, but
Yes, I know where Fulton Street is. I know because my hotel was just off Fulton Street because this is not important to anyone else apart from you and me at the moment. But because that Fulton, because it was called the Hotel Indigo, and then they had that sort of. There was like a department. I think it was a Target, and then they made like a food court on the bottom, like a little food trucks, and there was all these food places, and Fulton Street,
almost everywhere you turn, there's got some food going on. You got the Chinese foods. I mean, you got everything. There's people says, "Do you eat McDonald's?" No. Do I eat Taco Bell? No. Why would I eat any of that? I don't eat KFC. I don't eat none of that. Are you kidding me? I got a spot for everything, for every little. There's no way in the world you can. If you come to New York, I'm not like, hey, let's go rock up the KFC. It ain't happening. We're going to the good, proper soul food thing, proper Caribbean thing. Whatever you want to do, hey, come on. Forget about
that's what happened to. I remember we went to Chicago, and I love Chicago as well. And a guy went with us who had never been in America in the first place ever in his life, and we were going to obviously we were eating the proper deep dish. We were going to the steak plate. We was having he was doing the French dip sandwiches, all of that.
Oh, they don't know about the roast beef and
And then I said to my man, I went, so. What did you have today? Oh, I went to a 7-Eleven and got some chicken wings. What are you doing? What are you doing?
A lot of people think the deep dishes just means thick crust, but actually it's a whole way they make, kind of like the pie and mash.
Yeah,
they put it in like a little thing, like the bread. Then they fill it up with the sauce and the things in the bits, and then they put another thing over top of it. Almost kind of like, an East End London pie, but pizza style.
Yeah.
That's a proper deep dish. And Domino's, they are
nice,
lying to people. It just drives me nuts.
It's crazy. Pizzeria Uno, that's the place to go in Chicago for it. And it was so because I ordered because it was the company paid for it, so I ordered a large one, and I was like, oh my god, I had like 2 slices. It was such a waste because it's like it was amazing.
You ever see the commercial for Domino's? I think they came out of Michigan or somewhere, but it says Brooklyn style pizza. And I'm just like, that's culture appropriation right there, whatever the word.
That's the pizza.
Oh, now see the bottom of that. That is a proper crust. That is a proper. Yeah, that is.
And when I took that picture, in Juliana's, on the other side, at the back, on his own, Sylvester Stallone.
See, that's you was in New York with that. That's why that thing is official. Absolutely.
That's what I mean. Just me and Rambo sharing a margarita.
As we call that, the undercarriage, the bottom of the bread.
That's what you can't get unless you get a stone or, you just can't do it.
Right. And people say, so it's just cheese. No, it's not just cheese and bread. Most of these, at the real place, they make the fresh mozzarella every morning out of the buffalo milk. The fresh, everything, top of the line. There's certain ingredients to make the bread. It's not just, we're just going to slap this bread, some flour. No. Listen, there's a certain way you got to do it. Right?
I know it is. It's a certain way, and it's something special.
They're out here committing pizza sins, Russ. I don't know even.
Tell me about it. Although so I do mine with 00, but it's not the same. It just doesn't taste the same. You need that heat. And welcome to Pizza Chat with me and Charlie Boy. 10 minutes in, all we do is talk about pizza. But no, love it, love these. We'd always, and also every time I went to New York or anywhere, the Brooklyn Nets are always on. They're always at home. it's like literally every time I go there, I know I'm going to watch the Nets play because they were always at home. I must obviously go during the season, but they play so many bloody basketball games over there that even if they weren't there tomorrow, they'll be there
there's like
next day.
the regular season's like 80-something games, and then the playoffs starts. Yeah.
Mental.
That's
Mental.
nuts.
Love it. No, I love it over there. We were swinging, it's reminiscent. Flo was swinging on the swings in Central Park, going, "Oh, I could live here, Daddy. Could you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I could. I really could." I love that place. I love that place, man. It's such a cool place and just a lovely vibe, and everyone's so nice. Everyone talks to each other. In America. That's what I love about American people. You chat to anyone, in the elevator, they'll say, nice meeting you. It's like you've gone 3 floors. You've hardly met them, but you've had a conversation with them.
You must have didn't go on the subway in New York. It says everybody talks nice. I don't know what part it is. You was in Manhattan. You was in Manhattan. You cross that bridge, you go to Brooklyn. They speak a whole different vocabulary.
Oh, they were safe. They were safe. They were really, really cool. What was it? I'm trying to remember. Oh, it doesn't matter. Can't remember. My friend. I went with Jewish, so we'd always go to the really expensive kosher restaurants, like the steak houses in Manhattan, which are like $150 for a steak. It's ridiculous. But anyway, I reminisce. Anyway, West Ham. Let's talk about West Ham now. Absolutely. I suppose we should 10 minutes in. Why West Ham, Charlie? Because I'm not detecting a Cockney accent at all, but I'm seeing the Bobby Moore. I'm seeing the 1980, shirt signed. I'm seeing Brooklyn. Why West Ham?
Because my pops is from East London. He came over in 1980, right? He come over here for work. There was a guy that was big buddies of his. He came over, and he wanted somebody that he could trust. So he told my dad, "Say, you want to come over?" So he's like, "Hey," came over, started work. Then he ended up meeting my mom or whatever, and then they had me. But he was West Ham, and like back in the day, I'd say like now we get the internet. When I was young, when I was growing up, it was hard for us to get any kind of West Ham thing. So he would call his brother. He would, every time like the match would be over, he'd call him up. We won this, da 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 da. And the only thing other than that was he would mail over the programs, right? That you get before the game or different news articles. Yep. And then sometimes, now you remember the calling cards because they didn't have cell phones when I was growing up.
Yeah.
We had to get calling cards to call across the pond, right? And when the first time, I don't remember when they came out, but it was the speaker phones, right? They would call if a game was on the radio or whatnot. They would call and like put the phone to the speaker or to the phone, and then we'd hit the speaker thing, and we'd all be sitting there, and it was almost like a little bit of a radio. But the thing that would happen was that damn calling card would run out of minutes. I don't know how many times they'd be like, "Oh, it's the 85th minute, blah, 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 boop," and it's done, and we don't know what's going on, and the calling card has ran off of minutes. Now we don't know who won. We got to wait for my uncle to get back from Upton Park, and he's pissed 3 sheets to the wind. He called, half the time you can't even understand what he's saying because he's been on the piss all night, and before the game too. But yeah, my pops, he was West Ham through and through, man. His what he went by, his name was Bulldog. That's what everybody called him. So,
amazing. What an amazing story. I think that's phenomenal, man. That's so cool. Because it's like a lot of people, not disrespecting American fans at all, but some people just pick a team, they pick West Ham. But from having your phone and like phoning transatlantic just to get that's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, and then
such a cool story.
"Hello, love. You calling for the game?" I'm like, "Yep." And then she get the phone to whoever, and they'd be like, "All right," they'd be kind of mad. "Oh, you don't want to talk to us. You just calling so we could put the phone by the speaker so you could hear any part of the game, And then like Christmas vacation, we'd fly over. Summertime, I'd usually stay the whole summertime. But stay over there with Nan, ship me over there. So, my pop's whole family still lives over there. He was the only one that came over. He was the only one, So, and every time we would go back and I would go to little places, everybody be so happy to see him. I'm like, this guy's a legend. Everybody, he's my hero, man.
Amazing.
man.
So cool, man. It's so cool. And obviously, when we could travel, when we could go over, have you been to Upton Park or London Stadium, man? Have you been
Oh
there?
yeah,
Or
I've been to all those.
good man.
I've been to away days. I've been to a lot of
Oh
things.
man,
Oh man, yeah, absolutely. I've been to everywhere. I've
you
been to
really
everywhere.
have.
I wish I prefer the old stadium
Yeah,
to
yeah,
the
yeah.
new stadium. Yeah, when I was like 6 or 7 years old was my first time. I don't remember. I mean, I
Amazing.
remember the smells and I know that I was
Yeah.
there, and I remember like being little and thinking, wow, this shit is so sorry. This thing
Right.
is so big. And yeah, man, it's just I love it. It's in my
It's
blood,
funny. It's funny how many people you interview, and they say, oh, they remember their first game. They don't necessarily remember the result, but they remember it's more of a sensory thing. They remember the smells. Walking down Green Street with the dodgy burger vans and the smell of cut grass at Upton Park. And it's not necessarily about, and I was thinking about the other day, as you said, you're 6 and 7, you're, even more so, you're in a different country. It's probably 20, 30,000 people there. Probably the most amount of people you've ever seen in one place at a time,
Yeah,
but didn't shoot your pants. I remember going to my first game, and it was thinking I was near the chicken run, and wasn't scared. It was just felt normal. It just felt like a family, and you just felt safe. And you talk to other people who they may have gone during the 60s and 70s, where literally as kids they were like handled down to the front from the dad at the back, and they're passing the kids down to the front. You wouldn't do it now, obviously, down to the front to sit in. It's just, oh, I love it. There's something special about West Ham, isn't it? And you
yeah.
obviously know it, being obviously
Yeah,
over there.
there's a little tiny road called Garfield Road. If anybody is familiar to that, that's where Pops grew up, right? Well,
Brilliant.
we'd leave from there. And his brother grew up there as well as kids and all that, but he moved over to Daughtry or something like that, Daughtry Road or Daughtry Lane. So we'd go from there and then go meet up at his brother's, and my cousins would be there. They'd be all getting on the piss, and then we'd make our way to the state. And a lot of the American guys, I feel for them because they'll never get to feel that. Some of them have. A lot of them had, like the guy Lee. A lot of them have been to the Upton Park, but wow, your shoes sticking to the ground and all that bits. It won't be. I don't want to be bring up old Mrs. Stadium. I do. I miss it. I know.
Yeah, I think people do from a nostalgic perspective, in the same way that you probably miss. For me, your family home or whatever. You go, oh, well, I mean, because it was like a home. It was, we was there for 100 years almost. You know what I mean? So there's gonna be memories, as you said. Your dad went there. You've been there. His dad went there. So there's like same as me. My granddad, his granddad, all went there. And it will take time. I think it will take time. And it's horrible to think of it. It's not for the move. The way I saw when the move happened was it wasn't necessarily for, no disrespect, the older generation. It's for my daughter, and the next. She only knows West Ham have played at London Stadium. I made sure she at least stood in Upton Park.
Right.
But and I think it also, if the team are performing well, the stadium's the last thing people will talk about. And last season, okay, there was no one there at the stadium anyway, apart from me. But the one thing people didn't talk about was the stadium, because the team were doing well. And so,
you
and
lucky guy. No, we're not allowed. Russ, you was in there. You devil. I can't believe it. What a guy.
I mean, what the one thing about the fans coming back, people don't think about is I don't get car park space now.
What?
Do you know what? People don't. That's what I mean. For 19 seasons, I never had a car park space. We fans don't go in. I get a car park space, and now the fans are back. Go get the train.
See, you need to tell them I am Russie B, and the B stands for better get my parking space sorted out. That's what you tell them. You tell them sort it out.
Could you imagine? So yeah, no, I know what you mean. But and so I think, and now actually it's horrible what's happened in the world for the last 18 months or whatever. But for West Ham, it's almost like a hard reset. When your computer's a bit slow, you have to give it a full reset. That's what it feels like. Maybe until the last few weeks, where it's this sort of, a bit between the fans, a bit bickering. But last season, it was like a lovely place. everyone was really happy. Everyone has a team they're proud of, and now they've got, now obviously on Saturday we're going to get, I don't know how many thousand are back for the Betway Cup, but obviously we got Leicester the Monday after that. People are buzzing to get back to the stadium. And I think then they just want to see the team play. They just want to feel part of that community, as you said before. The sensory side, they want to smell that beer smell. They want to smell that grass, and sing bubbles again. Do you know what I mean? It's like
absolutely. See, I know they said something about the jabs or whatever to get in the stadium. I got my one from over here. Now I'm planning on coming Christmas, Boxing Day, right? No. Now, what if I get there with my New York whatever jab thing, and they're like, "Oh no, you can't get in." I'm like, "Wait a second, I know Russ. Tell Russ at the gate. Tell the DJ."
I'll be up at the top. Do you know what? I don't think. To be honest, I don't think they know what they're doing about it yet, because there's been nothing about it yet that's come up. I mean, the Brentford game, they didn't have any restrictions, but then Brentford have got a small capacity, so it's less than 20,000, I think, so they don't count. I think Chelsea Tottenham they got a game this week, like a friendly, and I don't know how it's a friendly, but it is, and I think they're trialing it, but I don't know how it works, man. I don't know how it works. I mean, that's the thing. Obviously I've been there, and I always got just temperature checked, and like when I went in every game, temperature checked, and they obviously won't do that because you can't temperature check 60,000 people because it takes a little while. But I don't know what they're doing. But I mean, Frankel ended up at Brentford. He hasn't had 2 jabs.
Well, Frankel did a name drop. He knew somebody. They let him in. That's my guy. I love Frankel. Shout out Frankel.
And the thing about Frankel, Charlie, I went to school with Frankel.
Did you?
Yeah.
So was he a top lad or what? Was he?
Well, he was a year below me. But yeah, we went to the same school, and that was a really weird thing when he started. I started watching American Hammers Network, and he started turning up. I was like, I know Adam Frankel, and he's in Texas. What the fuck? And so yeah, it's weird. Wild. And then when he came over, didn't come Saturday to me. Went to Clacton with Jake. Went to Hull. Went to see Athers and Becky.
Not Russie B. Come see Russie B. Oh, that's out of hand. Russie. That's out of order right there.
That's well out of order.
Bang out of order right there.
Well, you're coming around for Christmas by the sounds of it, Charlie B. So it's all right,
Yeah. Come with gifts.
Come bearing gifts. I tell you what, anyone who comes over from America, every time I say to my daughter, she loves, icebreakers, the icebreaker sweets.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she likes the 2-tone ones. There's ones with, I think it's got strawberry and mint, right? And I think Wally sent me like a box last time. Or was it Frankel? Frankel might have sent it to me. And she craves them, right? And we was in some American candy store in the UK over the weekend. And I bought some for her. £4. £4. That's like,
oh wow,
$7, $7 for a little.
Oh, they tax you. Yeah, I'll make sure to bring you a proper proper candy.
Yeah,
proper sweets. Bring over all type of thing, but not Hershey's because I know you don't like that. I don't
like Hershey's. But while we're talking about eating stuff, let's give it a plug. You're eating a hot pepper, aren't you?
I am eating. It's gonna be here Friday. I know we do it. It's the world's hottest pepper. I'm doing it for the charity on Jake's show. I've already said it, so I got to do it. I've signed up for it. I don't know what's the matter with me. Everybody else is like, I'll chug a beer. I'll jump in the water. I'll do this. I'm like, I know what I do. Hey, I'll eat the world's hottest pepper and die live on television. But if we raise enough money, that's okay.
Exactly. At least you didn't get arrested like Peach. So that's all right.
So it'll definitely be scenes. And I'm not going to drink. The challenge is you can't have milk for like 5 minutes. You got to eat it's the Carolina Reaper.
Yes.
And like it's like right up there with pepper spray. It's like I'm a chew on a pepper spray.
Are you a hot food fan, Charlie? Some people are. Are you?
Yeah. I mean, I like hot food, but this is gonna be a little bit. This is gonna be a bit much. But yeah, I do love the spice. I love the spice.
Yeah. It's weird. I like hot sauce stuff. I don't like the hot sauce. But when it comes to like curry, I don't like a hot curry. It's a different type of heat, in my opinion. So yeah. But yeah.
Oh yeah,
we digress as always. We do, man. So out of all your time supporting West Ham, Charlie, what sort of some of the memories that you think of? You go, I remember that was good fun. That was a great time. That was a good time to be a West Ham fan.
When Kevin Nolan 2-footed a Leeds player. I love that. I love Kevin Owens. But I tell you what, the best time I ever had was the last game me and Pops went to, and we played Manchester United, right? And this is when they had Ronaldo. I mean, they had all the boys.
Yeah.
It's a game Ronaldo missed the penalty kick.
Missed the penalty, yeah.
So everybody's slagging off young Saka and the boys. Listen, Ronaldo missed the penalty kick, so give him a break. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you why he missed that afterwards. Go on, you carry on.
But I don't remember who scored. I think they scored first, right? And just the love I felt because we went down and everybody started singing, like to boost the boys up, you know?
Yeah.
And everybody started singing. And then we came back and won that game. Noble had a beautiful game that game. And that was the last game that I was with my father at that game. And this was a little bit right before he passed away, man. That was the last one. So the last one I seen with him was a win. And I just never forget, because when that goal went in, he was on the pitch. He told everybody, sing. Like he kind of checked them, like, oh, we're not giving up, boys. Sing. And when he said sing, they all got in order and sang. They started singing. And I was like, wow, it's just the camaraderie, the brotherhood. And it was that was one of the beauties. Now, one of the worst is the Cardiff, when they scream, blow the whistle, and the asshole hits the 40-yard screamer and breaks. That just broke my heart, man, because we flew all the way over for that. And see, like I told you, my father flew across in 1980. So he missed. When he moved to America, he missed the one that they got. And I always heard about that. Say, oh, yeah, that fucking hell, mate. Oh, blah, blah. He was so pissed. Like, of course, once I go over, of course they win the thing when I'm not there to see it, So, like, the whole flight over, I don't know how long it is, 6 to 8 hours. He's like, we're going to get it. This is it. I've been waiting, And then we had it. All you had to do is kick the ball and play it out, right?
Scaloni.
Oh,
Lionel Scaloni. It was funny. We had Marlon here on the channel the other this morning. Well, it was yesterday, and we spoke about that game. And because my seat, I remember that game really vividly, and it was literally I was in the top tier, but right above the goal, where Marlon basically only had one leg at the end, and the ball crossed like literally the 90-something minute, and he swung it with his wrong foot because he had 1 foot left. And Marlon goes, that's what everyone fucking remembers about that game. Not the fact that it was like a fantastic game and Gerard. It's me swinging my stupid left leg at the ball, and it's like, oh bless. It's so sweet. So even the players, we had Matty Etherington on once, and I spoke to him. I started talking about the FA Cup, and he went, "No, don't mention it." It's just like 20 years, 15 years ago.
I almost put him in my thing. Put him in my thing. Yeah, I had to do some wiggling around just to not put Payet in, but it's okay.
No, I know you've been. I know this. There's been a lot of late nights trying to put this 11 together, Charlie. I know you've like spent a lot of time on this, and and you feel bad for the people you haven't put in.
I almost was going to curse you out a little bit because I am just stressing me out because I don't want to leave nobody off, right? And then I'm thinking, well, do I go with the best team to win? Do I go with my childhood heroes? What do I go with? Just so I'm doing. I'm like, oh, I got to leave him off and put him on. Well, if I put him on, I got to take him off. And I was like, well, if I put him at right wing, I know he's a left wing. It's just the whole thing. And I'm an overthinker, right? I overthink everything. So you can imagine. I got 2 papers. Look, you think I'm joking? I got one here. I got one here. I got another one here. I kept scrumbling up. Nope, can't be. Oh my God. The anxiety of this.
But that's the thing, and you think, you've, to all intensive purposes, while you've been alive, we haven't won fuck all. And so, I feel sorry for guys who, so say if your pups were still around, God rest his soul, and he had to put an 11 together. Could you imagine? Because the players he's seen, it would be impossible. And so we have a slightly easy one, but it is, but it's, I always believe that, when you're a teenager, like my sort of the time I enjoyed most at West Ham was when I was probably about 15 or 16. It would have been around the Redknapp era, which was probably a really fun time. And so those are the players that I always admire.
He's
And
one of my favorite. He brought in good talent, man.
He did. I mean, yeah, but when he got it, wrong, he got it really wrong. You know, we're talking about transfers at the moment. You know, he would get in. You know, and for every Di Canio, there was a Boogers. You know, or there was a Javier Margasol.
I remember the one thing when the guy jumped up and he was telling, "Oh, Lampard ain't ready. He's young. He don't belong here."
Yeah.
And I think it was Harry Redknapp. He's like, "No, this kid's gonna come good." And did he later on in his career? He became one of the great, one of the top boys.
Phenomenal. And I just think, I mean, that was really exciting. I mean, that was a sign that period for me was really cool. You had, it was coming to the end of sort of old football, but it was a new era where you were getting these unusual foreign players you'd never heard of. Money was coming into the game a bit more as well. And Harry liked to punt, didn't he? He liked to bargain. He liked to try for you, and sometimes they paid off, sometimes they didn't. More often than not, they paid off, and we had a really.
That's why they call punts, isn't it?
Yeah, you're not gonna punt a sure thing, are you? That's not a punt, really. Time, but right, okay, let's get on to the 11 because I'm looking forward to see. As you said, I know I can imagine it being like American Idol. American Idol, where they have to sort of decide who's going into the Hollywood round, and you've got. You have to sleep on it, like Simon Cowell would sleep on it, and then come back in the morning and sort of look back at your bit of paper and go, I'm not too sure about that. Not too sure I'm going to put in. Oh, but I'm looking forward to this. Right, who's in goal? Charlie Boy?
Who's in goal? I was going to put Shaka because I love him and that's my guy, his slot. But you know who I went? I went with Ludo. And the only reason why is because that's my favorite chant. My name is Ludo. That's my favorite thing. So I'm like, all right, even if my team's bad and they're not any good, at least we'll have a good chant going about. So Ludo's in.
There's something that players with chants, they have a special place in people's hearts, isn't it? Right. It's like someone like Christian Daly. Would Christian Daly have been as much of a cult hero if he didn't have the chant? Just throwing it out there. You know me. I like to be, Dimitri Payet. Would he have been half the? There, he would have been. He would have been a good player anyway, regardless. Right, okay, we'll put Ludo in. Love Ludo. Big fan of Ludo. Big Ludo. Right, defense. Who's your first defender then?
You want me to start left side or right side?
Let's start left side. Go on in.
Left side, of course, my favorite player of all time, the man that kicked the piss missiles for the penalties, Mr. Julian Dix. Absolutely. You had that ready. You know I was gonna pick him.
Oh well, I've got them all lined up, man. You know StreamYard. I've got them all lined up.
All right.
Julian,
all right.
What a great player.
Next to him, I got Rio.
Nice.
Now the reason I picked these two guys is like, my team's gonna be tough. If a fight breaks out, if we don't win the game, we're gonna definitely win the fight. And Rio was a phenomenal. I remember my uncle called this kitty cat was this Geo kid. This is Geo, my Geo. Yeah. So we get the paper, and my pop's like, his fucking name's Gio. It's Rio. You got him all wrong. He's telling me Gio the whole time. But anyways, that's a funny thing.
Love it. I love that. Okay, Rio's in. Rio's in.
One of the top. Wish he would have stayed longer, but it is what it is. Then, of course, one of my all-time favorites. I think he should have got sent off more proper. My big man, Ginge.
Ginge. What a man.
Yeah,
love him.
I love him. I love him to bits. I wish he would have got a proper thing. I wish he would have, but
I think when people talk about that, I think for me that was a realization that football wasn't about, and it's not a slight on anyone internally at all, but I think that it was that for then. If Ginge had got 9 years, say 20, 25 years ago, right, he would have got the next year contract extension to keep him for 10 years. But now football's not about that anymore. It's different.
It's more commercial. It's more commercial.
It's about the money. I mean, people forget Steve Potts. Steve Potts never got the I think he finished on, was it 499 league games or something like that. He never got that last appearance. Say Billy Bonds. He never got that last appearance to make. Yeah. So it's always happened, but it was because
now Bonzo would definitely be on Pops, my dad's list. 100%.
Of course,
100%.
Of course he would. But Ginge, I totally agree. I love Ginge. He's a lovely guy. Right. Okay. So we've got Rio and Ginge. Yeah. I mean, I know what you mean. I can see about the fight if it kicks off. Dixie, not Rio, but Ginge. Yeah. And who's gonna go right? Who's gonna go right back?
Oh, right back is, throughout our history, right back has not really been our strongest situation. So I went with the only guy I picked from the like newer era, like this era, Sufal.
Nice.
In my lifetime, I can't really think. That's got to be Sufal. Plus, he's a tough guy. He's wearing a hoodie like a road man waiting for the bus. Listen, you're not messing around with this guy. This guy looks tough, right?
I know. But he's got a new car. I watched his Instagram
Yeah.
post. Oh.
I wonder if he'll still take the bus though, just because he's that type of geezer.
Well,
you know?
it's quite a big car. It's not very, London's not a great place to drive around in a big car. You know what I mean? They've all got those silly little smart cars, and so you might have to take the bus, man.
It's like New York. You can catch a train, a bus.
It's a good point.
One of the black cabs. One of the,
I remember though. I remember driving. I remember literally down. Must have been down Fifth, and it was like towards. Was it down Fifth? No, it wasn't. No, it was towards the MSG, and I don't know why this has popped in my head. But you talk about flash cars, and it was the only decent car I'd seen for ages, and it was this Lamborghini, like real, like nice paint job, like that mirrored paint job on it, really weird, blacked out windows, and it was your man P Diddy. It was your man P Diddy was in there.
You had to be somewhere.
That's how if I says, "Yo, Diddy," like you're the best mate, and I'm like, "Who?" Oh,
if it was a Ferrari, you definitely wasn't in East Flatbush.
So true. You have no wheels by the end of it, but yeah, I love it. Yeah, and that's the thing now. You see, it's like although Sufal did, although he has got a really big one of those big BMW 4x4s because he was behind me one day on the way to West Ham. And I was like, you're not taking the bus now, are you, mate? But yeah, I totally agree, man. He's brilliant. He's a revelation. Was he your who was your hammer of the year last season, man?
I would have to say him or Souček. Souček, the only reason why is because the ground he covered, his defense. I tell you, one game he cleared the ball with his head. Bam. Made a defensive play, sprinted all the way down the other end. I think it was versus Spurs. I don't know. My memory's bad. But then he bang, bust one. I was at two ends of the field in a matter of seconds. I was like, that is double bits right there. I mean, to play his position and to score what he had, he knock up like 10 goals?
Something like that. Yeah. 9 10s, yeah. Brilliant, really. No, I agree. I think Sufal was mine for that, for the exact reason that you said. Right back has been a position we've never really. We've had a few. Tim Breaker was good, and we had Repka to go there and stuff like that. But for me, he just slotted into that team like absolute.
Either Sufal or Souček, flip a coin.
Yeah.
Whoever gets it.
I agree.
I
agree. Right, let's move into midfield. Let's start on the left. So we know Etherington's not on the left. Who's going to be on the left?
Oh man! Now see, this is where's my other paper? I'm gonna do the other one. Now originally I had Dex on there, right?
Yeah.
But then I was like, wait a second. Kevin Nolan's like one of my I love Kevin Nolan. Like I told you, one of my greatest memories was 2-footed the Leeds guy. I thought that was lovely. That's my type of ball,
Yeah.
So I got Kevin Nolan
nice.
in the midfield.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Kevin Nolan. Really, I think Kev is a really underestimated person at West Ham in terms of when he played, because you think when he came, we talk about he'd come from Newcastle, who I think he had his best goals tally for Newcastle the season before in the Premier League, and he dropped down the division to join us really, and to be with Big Sam's go-between between the two, and he was pivotal to us going back up. We didn't have him, we wouldn't have been up, man.
Now, he was like a big name for us when he came. It was like, oh, Kevin Nolan. Usually when aren't the big name kind of.
He's what we needed. We needed someone like him when we went down. Solidify, bring the team back together, get the relationship between the manager and the team back together, and obviously doing bits now for the squad in terms of being a coach now. So I love him. I think he's a great man.
Absolutely.
Right, Super Kev's in. Super Kev is in. Who is next in that team?
Now I got a 4-4-2 because
nice.
I had a 4-2-1. So, but who I have next to him, nobody ever says. And he is one of my favorite players because I watched the beautiful game. I played the game. I love it. And that's my main man, Hayden Mullins.
Oh, Hayden.
You ain't got him on there, do you? You ain't quick with it. Oh, he's got him. All right.
But I tell you why I got him on. I tell you why he's needed, because, and this is a really interesting thing about Hayden Mullins. As I said, we had Marlon Harewood on yesterday. We've had Bobby, we've had Anton, we've had Luke Chadwick, we've had Etherington, we've had Konchesky, we've had all these guys who played with him. He's in every one of their teams, right? Mullins rarely gets picked for a fan's perspective.
But the players always pick him, right?
Yeah, players pick him because of what he does to the team.
And I tell you what, I was on Jake's show. The great Frank Mancavini was explaining why Pablo Fornals is great, which I tell people. So I'd like to know. I got like 6 guys agreeing with me that are all football legends that played football. And who agrees with them people? Oh, people on Twitter. All right, go sort yourself out.
There we go.
That's nice to know that Frank Mancavini and all the lads agree with my
well, it is, and it makes sense. I mean, there's certain players at all generations. You get these sort of Mullins players. So, we sort of saw that when to not so much of an unknown perspective, but obviously when Deck was out, the team were totally different. The team was totally different, and we know what Deck brings because we see it. But maybe because he's Declan Rice, we sort of see more of it because he's more an attacking, the way he charges forward. But for England, he does that sort of dog's body work. He doesn't do the sort of marauding runs into the box, which he does at West Ham now.
And I remember a lot of people slagging off, not really slagging off Souček, but they was like, oh, he ain't scoring no goals no more. What's happened? Well, because now he's got the role of Rice, and he's more of a whole, the whole thing changed. But they don't see the whole beautiful game sometimes.
No.
Only thing people see is goals, assists, and if you don't get none of that, nothing else matters to them. But Hayden Mullins is one of the smartest football players on angles, positioning. And I think his first game for us, he was a fullback. He came in as a fullback. Yeah. And then, he could play in defender, switched, and then he ended up in the midfield. So this guy, he could, to do that, you got to be able to read the game. For somebody, we'll put you here, we'll put you there, we'll put you anywhere. He was just one of them geezers that he knew ball. He could just do it. Now he's coaching, doing bits. And I've said it 2 years ago. He's going to be a great, excellent coach. There's a video, type in Hayden Mullins coaching, and I'm watching him. Instructor, I'm like, oh my God, look at this beautiful. Why don't we get this guy in? Just bring him in. Yeah. So
he's now manager at Colchester United, man. So we'll see how he does, man. But you're totally right. You're totally right with Hayden Mullins. And he's one of those players. I mean, obviously, we spoke about Cardiff, and obviously he got sent off when we played Liverpool like 2 weeks before, and him and Louis Garcia had a fight, and they both got red carded. And he was such a loss. I think Fletcher came in. I mean, Fletcher was a good player, but he wasn't Hayden Mullins. Right. And if he hadn't got sent off, I think we'd have won that game. We'd have won that FA Cup.
Yeah, see all my guys that got in, they're down for a good scrap. They're down for you're not gonna beat us up on the pitch.
There we go.
You ain't happy. Not my team.
I like this team. It's different. I like it. We got Nolan, we got Mullins. Who's next, man?
Well, those are my two mids. I was gonna put a midfielder in front of him, like as an attacking mid, but I said, well, I'm gonna go left mid, right mid, or right wing, left wing, whatever you want to do. I'll start on the right side, and I put him on the right side. He could play either or, but I put Trevor Sinclair as my right wing, right mid. Yeah. And he started out on the right, then went over to the left, and he had one of the most beautiful passes to oh my God, to Kenio.
Yeah.
One of the greatest all-time goals. And I believe it was from the left side. I don't know. But I'm sticking him on the right because you know why? I don't want to put what's his name over there on the left. I'm not doing it. Everybody does. I ain't doing it. You want to go to France? Okay, that's fine. I ain't a hater. Go to France, but you're not making my team. And besides, I don't think you'd do too good in the scrap anyway.
If only they knew. If only he knew, Charlie, that like I don't know, 5 years later, we would be interviewing Charlie from the East Coast, and he might have changed his mind. He might have said, "Actually, no, because I want to get Charlie's 11."
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Trevor Sinclair, one of the most loveliest people I've met. I love Trevor. He has, in the same way that there's certain players that would remind you of your dad, or your pups. Trevor Sinclair reminds me of my granddad because he could barely, because granddad couldn't, like, he was like going blind. I don't know how, to be honest, we shouldn't have actually probably driven. He used to drive us to the games. We shouldn't have driven. And his eyesight was going. And basically anyone who did anything that was good, who was black, who played for West Ham, was Trevor Sinclair. It could have been Shaka. It could have been Jermaine Defoe. It could have been Mark Vivian Foe. bloody Sinclair, only good player we've got. And I love Trev, top man. And we'll get a like and a retweet because Trev's in it.
There you go, Trev. Hey,
social engagement.
That's one of my top guys. One of my
He's
top guys.
Top guy.
Absolutely love Trev.
All right, we'll put Trev on the right. Who's going to go on the left then? If we're not putting the snake on the left, who's going left?
Yeah, now see this. I was going to have him as an attacking mid, but since he played attacking mid or right winger or left winger, I had to put my guy Big Cole. Yeah,
Joey C.
Yeah, Joey C in a place to be. Listen, had the ball in the string. You kidding me? Beautiful, fancy feet. Come on, man. Joey Cole, baby.
What a player. What a player. Lovely bloke. Lovely guy. I love Joe.
Absolutely.
And we hope to have him on soon. And I'd love to ask him about playing for West Ham, because obviously we knew about him, like this side of the water, like, so to speak. We knew about him when he was about 13. This kid, in the same way that we with Gio Ferdinand, we knew about Joe for like 30, and despite the fact he must have had so much pressure on him as a youngster.
Oh yeah, because the build up to him coming in was just phenomenal.
We signed him on the pitch at 16. I remember that we played Chelsea. We signed him on the pitch at 16. And
some people say, "Oh, he didn't live up to the hype." I'm like, "What? He was amazing for me anyway." Yeah. I thought he was one of the greats. What, are you kidding me?
I know what people mean now. I understand what people mean. It's like where the
expectations were so high, They're so high.
We said they were going to be, this guy's going to be the new Gaza or whatever, and he would have been, I think, in a world where he could have been in the Gaza role. But the thing was, I think for me, Joe Cole was 10 years too late for his position.
I hope he's not upset that I stuck him on the left, even though I know he's played that. He'd be like, "Oh, come on, put me in the middle behind the striker. What are you doing?
Play me at 10, damn it!" But someone like Joe would have benefited most from playing a free role. But they don't play the free role anymore.
That's where I had him, and then I had Dex, but then I changed up the whole thing. Oh my god, changed it 4 times.
We'll change it. We'll change it. Right, let's go up front. Who's your first striker then, man?
Oh, my first striker is, I was a young wee lad, but you said I had to be alive. So I said, you know what? It's another guy that came in young, and his debut, if I'm not mistaken, was versus the Spuds.
It was.
And he cracked off 2 goals, and his name is Tony Cottee, baby.
TC.
Yeah, big TC.
He's not big TC, little TC, but yeah.
I know. I try to make him feel. I know he worries about his height. I make him feel taller when I say that.
But then you would have definitely seen TC on his second stint with the club anyway, when he came back. So
no, definitely. Fine. Oh no, definitely. I was in there as a real young, because he did come back. But I was little when he scored. I was just too little to. I remember being there, but to really know what was going on. I don't know.
Don't worry.
Maybe it was 7. I was like 7 or 8 the first time I seen him.
Yeah. Top man, lovely guy. Love Tony. He's a top man. He is. Okay, and we talk about someone like Joe Cole. Someone like Tony Cottee. That sort of like small striker. You don't get that anywhere now in football. We talk about Etherington. He was like a left winger, like an old school left winger.
I was almost gonna put him in, but then I said, I got to put Cole because I love Cole. I got to find a spot for him.
Yeah, but with TC, you don't get. Nowadays you look at guys who are strikers for. I know for Man United and City and Chelsea, they're not small goal poachers. They're forwards now, aren't they? They're not going to, Tony Cottee, most of his goals were in sort of like the box. He never scored a 30-yard banger, but the game's totally different now. It really frustrates me how the game's become like really complicated, and it shouldn't be. It should be quite a simple game. You get like Trevor Sinclair running to the byline, crossing it in for a big man to knock it in, or knock it down to a little man to score. That's all you got to do. Football's such a simple game, man. But
yeah, my front four is coming at you. They're coming at you.
That's what I mean. I'm seeing this. These lads that's what I mean. Tony will be on the defender's last shoulder. You got Joe dinking little balls into Tony. You've got Sinks coming down the wings. Who's Cottee going to be partnering then?
Oh, well, I didn't want to leave him lonely without his drinking, but he soon had to put Mac in there, always serving it to him up on a plate, baby. You know how to put Frank the Tank.
Oh, Macca, what a lovely bloke. What a lovely man as well. But they all all are. You know what I mean?
And if he sees this, he's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm still serving Tony up the balls and not getting them. This is out of control." Now you're gonna get some too, Frank. I'll make sure in practice.
Yeah, he will do because Trevor will whip him in.
Yeah.
And he was you know he was good with the old head on Macca was. No, I love Macca. He's a lovely guy, lovely, very fortunate to sort of become not friends, but you know we know each other. You know, it's like I love it. Knows me well enough to give me a cuddle when he sees me.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? There's a certain level, you know, whether it's a handshake, but it's a cuddle. So there we go. I'll take that. I'll take a cuddle of Macca.
Yeah, well, he was on Jake's show, and guess what? I put a comment in a live chat, so that means we're best friends now. That's it. He's
a top man. He's top. Yeah, Jake did a really good job as well. Really good job with Machiavelli. Right, let's show you the team as we are. I like this team. I must say, Charlie, man, I like it, man. Look at that.
Ooh.
Look at that. Big things.
Yeah, I love it. That's a proper team right there.
That's a big team, man.
Nobody else's Hammers 11 is beating that Hammers 11.
Well, I think you've got the central midfield solidity as well. With that sort of Mullins Nolan sort of duo. That's a nice duo.
I was gonna put Dex, but Mullins, that was when I was younger, he was my guy, man.
He's your guy, man.
He played my pops just like he plays the beautiful game. You know, that's how the game's supposed to be played, son. You know, and how could you not put him in?
No, I love it, man. Charlie, man, brilliant, absolutely brilliant, man.
Sorry, Dex.
Sorry, Dex. He'll be crying. He'll be crying in his.
I know he's gonna be upset.
Cereal. I don't know. Is he cereal? I don't know. Charlie, man, been an absolute pleasure, my friend. Absolute pleasure. 50 minutes has flown by without even blinking. And I didn't even have to let my daughter in. She came in through the back gate, knowing full well I was talking to Charlie Boy and didn't want to interrupt me.
I was gonna message you, be like, you know what, I'm not coming on unless Flo has sorted out some McDonald's.
I couldn't believe that. My wife, trying to for that. If anyone doesn't know, we do a live show every day, and Flo, someone asked Flo, you know, what she got for lunch, and she went, "I want McDonald's." And I said, "You can't have McDonald's." And then literally, we had about 30 or 40 messages in the chat. # buy Flo a Big Mac. # buy Flo a Happy Meal, and then she got a McDonald's. She was forever grateful. But no, it's been a pleasure, my friend. And check out Charlie and Peach's show on West Ham Random. Strictly business.
I like my buddy Peach. Yeah, absolutely. No hard feelings. Strictly business. Strictly
business. So from myself and from Charlie, take care, everyone. Stay safe. Wash those hands. Get those jab appointments. Come on, you irons, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Take care, everyone. Much love. Bye-bye.